London. Number 17, Michael Marmalejos. Number 5, Connor Marinac. Number 2, Tyler Minnick. Number 11, Avi Pena. Number 4, Aaron Renninger. Number 16, Matt Starbaugh. Number 23, Darian Crochet. Number 21, Xander Velez. And number 20, Mason Woolwine. Your coaches, head coach Chris Hull. Assistant coaches Noah Angstead, Kirk Henry, Billy McKay, Todd Williams, statistician John Geiger. How about a round of applause for the Mifflin varsity baseball team? All right, now our Mifflin youth baseball players will be introduced, and they'll get a chance to walk through the tunnel created by the varsity team and meet the varsity players. Our first team, Mifflin Diamond Team 12U, will have the players say their first name. Coaches, that's 12U Diamonds. Next we have our 10U team from Mifflin. Let's meet our players. Say your names nice and loud, please. And our 10U coaches. Next we have Majors Blue team. If they were Majors Blue, I will say the name. That's our Majors Blue team. Next we have Majors Gold. Majors Gold, let's meet them.
Abram Fuller. Caleb Root. Victor Ponte. Trevor Knox.
Let's hear for our Majors Gold team. Next we have our Miners Gold team. Let's meet our Miners Gold.
Lucian. Jordan. Devin. Olive. Nate. Luke Sider. Andon. Ian. Michael.
Good job, that's our Miners Gold team. Next we have our Miners Black team.
Thomas. Harlish.
That's our Miners Black team. Next we have Miners Maroon.
Tucker. David Rummer. Coleman. Sam. Micah. Trent Turner.
And our coaches from Miners Maroon. Next we have Instructional Maroon. Let's meet our players. That's our Instructional Maroon. Next we have Instructional Blue.
Cameron Cole.
Next we have instructional goal. That's our instructional goal team. Next we have instructional black. Your name? That's our instructional black team. Next we have T-ball gold. T-ball maroon. T-ball black.
Jackson, Joey, Ryan, Darren, and Steve, Taylor, Lincoln.
T-ball blue. Come on out.
David, Jackson, Ethan,
That's our T-ball blue team. How about a round of applause for all of our Mifflin youth baseball players? And now to say a few words on behalf of Mifflin Youth Baseball, Brian Fry. Where's Brian at? Right here. Ladies and gentlemen, President of Mifflin Youth Baseball, Brian Fry. Brian.
First of all, I just want to say thank you to all the neighbor families for coming out tonight. Let's have a good time tonight. Let's have fun. I appreciate everybody's support. And guys, let's have a great season, all right?
And now to officially welcome everyone that's here as part of Mifflin Youth Baseball Night, please welcome the varsity baseball coach, Chris Cole. Chris.
I want to thank everybody for being here tonight, supporting Mifflin baseball. For the young guys, it's great to see all of you here tonight. Make sure you thank your parents for everything that they do. Listen to your coaches, listen to your teachers, and you're going to be playing on this beautiful field very soon. Go Mifflin.
Hey, thanks Chris Hall. One more time, a round of applause for all of our Mifflin Youth Baseball players. And for the Mifflin varsity baseball team, they're going to head out and get ready for tonight's game. We thank them for participating in our youth parade. That's your Mifflin varsity baseball team. All right, great job. Mifflin Youth Baseball players, we're going to head back off the same way we came on. We'll go back up into the right field grandstand first, and then we'll reunite you with your parents. So once again, we'll go right up into the right field grandstand. Once we're all off the field, then we can reunite you with your parents. And we'll be starting our varsity baseball game tonight at 7 o'clock. We'll introduce your teams a little bit before 7. Once again, thanks for coming out to Mifflin Youth Baseball Night. We thank Golden Oaks Landscaping for sponsoring tonight's Mifflin Night at First Energy Stadium. Wilson versus Mifflin coming up 7 o'clock.
gear up for the Fightin' Phils season. Visit the Brentwood Industries Fightin' Phils team store at First Energy Stadium or check out our online store 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at rphils.com/shop. We have a wide variety of Fightin' Phils hats, t-shirts, kids apparel, and more. Looking for something new? Check out our latest selection of Los Luchadores de Reading and Reading hot dog gear, plus throwback black R-Trains R-Phils attire. Root for your Fightins in style. Stop by the Brentwood Industries Fightins team store or rphils.com/shop.
The Reading Fightin' Phils, in conjunction with Savage 61 Fiesta Fridays, are proud to partner with eXp Realty Group throughout the 2021 season. Visit their convenient website at brgpa.com. The custom search bar makes house hunting online easier than ever, and their talented team of agents is here to answer all your questions. Call them today at 610-926-8610. eXp Realty Group is a proud partner of the Reading Fightin' Phils at all 7 Savage 61 Fiesta Friday games during the 2021 season. eXp Realty Group, where every move matters. Spend some quality time with the family by taking them out to a ball game every Sunday home game at First Energy Stadium. Sundays are Burke's Packing Sunday Family Fun Days, presented by Classic Harley-Davidson. Get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 sodas for only $50 when purchased in advance. Burke's Packing is a family-owned and operated meat processor located here in Reading, specializing in hot dogs, ham, specialty meats, and more. Join us for Burke's Packing Sunday Family Fun Days at Sunday home games all season long here at First Energy Stadium. The Fightins feature special post-game concerts throughout the entire season with more live music than anywhere else in Berks County. Each post-game concert features $1 off St. Boniface Brewing and live music on the T-Mobile stage. That's post-game concerts thanks to St. Boniface Brewing. Cornwall Manor is an active senior living community on a 190-acre wooded campus in Cornwall, Lebanon County. The community offers independence and opportunities for wellness and fitness, as well as educational and musical programs, and the peace of mind of having convenient health care on site. Cornwall Manor offers a range of residential choices from apartments to homes. Prospective residents are welcome to visit us for lunch and have a chance to learn more about the community. More information is available online at cornwallmanor.org. Cornwall Manor, celebrating 70 years of senior living.
But Baseball Town Charities didn't stop with inner city kids. It expanded its horizons to serve yet another group of special people, those with physical and cognitive challenges. The Baseball Town Dream League began play in the spring of 2018 as the Savage 61 Dream Field officially welcomed more than 100 passionate players to the county's first ballpark designed specifically for those with special needs. Since then, the league has grown to include more than 200 players and 1,000 volunteers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to First Energy Stadium. I hope you all can hear us. I apologize for all of the technical difficulties. We're just getting back into the broadcast here for the first time since 2019, so please bear with us, and thank you so much for hanging in there. I'm Emily Messina, the R-Phil's broadcaster for the season, and I have local sports aficionado and broadcaster with me, Paul Roberts.
Hey Emily, it's good to be with you, and I know the kids always love coming out here. This organization has done such a phenomenal job over the years, obviously with the Reading Fightin' Phils, but also doing much more with high school baseball. And the kids, to get the opportunity to come out and play in this ballpark where you have a pool out in right field, and with the weather today, it was actually appropriate for people to be out there. But the deck in left field, everything that's going on down the first base side, the picnic areas, and I'm sure the Governor Mifflin fans are loving it as well, because they're celebrating their youth night. There were a ton of kids that get to go on the field before the game. So really more so than the numbers and the stats, those are the type of memories that they're going to take with them 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't think we could have gotten a better night at the ballpark for one. I mean, this has probably been the best night of spring so far, I would say. And like you were talking about with the memories, last night we had Ole Kutztown here, and Austin Schlegel of Kutztown, a senior, hit a home run, and you could just really see the energy and the joy on his face, One thing to hit a home run, but probably pretty exciting to do it at a professional ballpark where greats like Ryan Howard and Mike Schmidt have played. Yeah,
and I'm sure in 20 and 30 years, he'll be telling all of his buddies that he hit it out of the stadium here, but it definitely went over the fence down there, the left field line. And this is a tremendous ballpark. I think for people who have traveled to different minor league cities, I mean, there's minor league baseball, and then there's baseball here, and everything's just taken to a different level with everything that you guys do in between innings, and all the mascots. Sometimes I wonder what percentage of people are actually watching the games when they're here to see the Fightin' Phils, but you always get such great prospects too out here, including a bunch of guys that are up with the big club right now. So it's just a great environment, and tough to beat this matchup tonight here. The top two teams in Division I of the Berks League. This Wilson team, in my opinion, is one of the best, not just in the county or District 3, but the entire state. And Governor Mifflin's not too shabby itself. The Mustangs have won 7 of 8. Wilson's won 10 in a row. They played earlier this season, and Wilson's head coach Sal Raculia said his heart almost came out of his chest the way that game ended, because the Bulldogs were kind of cruising along, and it was 4-0. Next thing you know, it's 4-2. Bases are loaded, and the go-ahead run is on first base. So that one was exciting. Hopefully we get another good game tonight.
Yeah, I'm happy with this matchup. I'm really excited. I think we are going to see some good baseball tonight. Whatever happens with the two starters going into this game, it will be an exciting game. And we do have a lot of scouts tonight, the ballpark fans. I know of a couple out here scouting some of the players, and the Phillies have brought their own TrackMan equipment that they have here at the ballpark. So a lot going on tonight as far as on the field and off the field. Like you said, Paul, the R-Phils are going to be running some of their promotions, some of their in-game entertainment that you all know and love if you've been out here to First Energy Stadium. You're well aware of all the entertainment that the R-Phils provide. So it's definitely going to be a night to watch if you made it out to the ballpark, and if you're able to join us on this stream, we really appreciate you tuning in near and far. We do have a chat going Right now we're getting a couple comments from our YouTube stream, so feel free to hop on there and chat with us. We'll try to answer your messages, or you can tweet at us. I know I look forward to that, and we'll try to follow back you guys and answer any questions you have. And I know Paul's pretty big on Twitter too, so you got a pretty good high school following over there. So you guys know he'll keep you up to date on all things high school sports in Berks County.
And a couple of games already in the books from today. Looking at the scoreboard, Muhlenberg, which got off to that undefeated start until they lost to Wilson last Friday night over in Laureldale. There was a great crowd there for that game under the lights, and Luke Coleman, who's going to pitch tonight, threw in that game, and it was a combined no-hitter for Wilson. Holman went 6 innings in that game and struck out 13. But Muhlenberg bounced back today. They beat Fleetwood 18-0 in 4 innings. Keller threw a 2-hitter for the Mules, and a game I think they needed it because they got off to that hot start and then started playing some tough competition and lost a few in a row, but a big 18-0 win today for Muhlenberg over Fleetwood. And then a key game in Division III, and a game that was supposed to be here last night, and we were hoping to broadcast it, but unfortunately with everything that's happened due to the coronavirus, that game had to be moved to today. And I can confirm none of the Hamburg players ever tested positive. It was a contact tracing issue that prevented them from playing yesterday. So they had to wait another day, and that's why the game was moved. Now, it worked out great for Kutztown in that their kids got to step in and play here at the stadium and play Ole last night. Ole won today against Hamburg 6-5 on a walk-off single with 2 outs in the 7th inning. So Ole sweeps the season series with Hamburg. There's a lot of really good talent in Berks County. Obviously, we're going to see some great players here tonight from Mifflin and Wilson, but Hunter Shuey for Hamburg has already committed to UNC Greensboro. He's hoping to be drafted. He's about 6'4", real athletic kid. Throws 90+, worked a lot on his slider since last year. And then Ole Valley has Garrett Blankenbiller, who's committed to Division II Millersville. And the PSAC with Millersville, Bloomsburg, Westchester, Kutztown, Shippensburg, that is excellent baseball. I think sometimes people think, well, it's D2. Trust me, a lot of those schools in the PSAC are better than low-level Division I program. So Blankenbiller is going to Millersville. He had a big game today. So Division III is really kind of throw them in a hat right now between Ole, Hamburg, and Wyomissing. I mean, they're all in the mix. But a couple of games already in the books. But I think this is one that a lot of people around the county are looking forward to because you have the top 2 in Division I, and also who is on the mound here for Wilson with Luke Coleman getting to pitch. I mean, that's a huge story. It's almost like with Lonnie Walker was playing basketball at Reading High, more and more people are coming out just to see this player.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. There's definitely competitiveness amongst the teams, but the fans of Berks County like to come out and support local talent, support the community. We do have quite a number of people in the ballpark here. As you had mentioned with the Governor Mifflin Parade, a lot of those kids are sticking around for the game tonight. And it looks like a lot of local high school kids are coming out to support their 2 teams. So we love to see that community coming together and supporting the local talent here, especially at such a beautiful ballpark as First Energy Stadium.
You mentioned the scouts here, and really that's nothing new for Luke Coleman. This will be his 5th start of the season, and I'll have seen 4 of them, and there have been scouts at every game. In fact, the last time they played Governor Mifflin, there were 15 to 20 scouts there. He will be 90 to 92. He'll touch 94 at times. Great demeanor. I mean, you could never tell that he's committed to Alabama, that he's hoping to go high in the MLB draft this year. He's such a cool customer. doesn't say a whole lot. He's a man of few words. Tremendous talent, though. Devastating curveball. I mean, that's really what separates him. Is you'll find high school kids who can throw hard. Sometimes they struggle to control it, and sometimes they don't have an off-speed pitch. His curveball will buckle your knees. I mean, at this level, he can make hitters look really silly. To tell you how good he is, when he threw against Mifflin the first time, he went 6 innings, he threw a shutout, and after the game he said it wasn't his best stuff. I mean, there are a lot of high school players that would love to throw a 6-inning shutout 3-hitter and say, you know what, this really wasn't my A game, but I believe him. Yeah, he's at a different level, and sometimes people say, Paul, how do you know that so-and-so is a major Division I kid? My answer hasn't changed for 25 years. Watch him play. The Lonnie Walkers, the Chad Henneys, the Michael Menitz, who should get drafted, hopefully maybe in the 4th round from Exeter as the draft starts tomorrow. Those type of players, Kerry Collins, you see him and they're just, they're head and shoulders above. That's Luke Holman. I mean, he looks like a pro when you watch him pitch.
Definitely excited about the lineups today. We'll get those out for you in a minute, but we are just going to tune down for the national anthem here. Nothing like being back at the ballpark. We are so excited to have fans join us here once again at First Energy Stadium for this wonderful matchup between the Wilson Bulldogs and the Governor Mifflin Mustangs, who are the home team in this matchup. Let's go over the starting lineups here. Right before the game starts, players are having their quick team meetings before they'll head out to the field. Already had the national anthem and the umpires meeting at the plate, so we should get started here shortly. Wilson will be up to bat first with Mifflin in the field. So leading things off for Wilson is going to be number 3, Danny Estrada, followed by Gabe Bunn, Ruben Livingston, and Luke Holman batting in that cleanup spot. Randy Carlo in that 5th spot, AJ Trayer, Ryan Kelly, Kyle Cincinnati, and Ryan Graff. Holman is going to pitch and be the DH tonight, which we see a mix of that. But on the Mifflin side, we will have a substitution and a designated hitter, though Garris is going to still be hitting. They have Tyler Minnick leading them off, Kobe Cabret, Connor Marinac, and then Alex Jansen is going to play first, but Austin Hafer will be batting for him. Xander Velez, Mason Woolwine, thank you. Matt Garris, Javi Pena, and Alex Renner. Is that how you say that last name, Paul?
Aaron Renninger.
Yeah.
Renninger,
that's
a Berks County. Yeah, so you don't say the G there. It's just Renninger. But he'll catch. And they also have a sophomore that they like, Darren Troche. And his brother was a really, really good player for Governor Mifflin. He's played in 5 games this past season, so he's gotten some time. Coach Holt did tell me earlier in the week, Renninger would start, but maybe Troche would get some time at catcher. So we'll have to see what happens there. Matt Garris, good all-around athlete, plays basketball, starting guard for Governor Mifflin and Coach Kyle Conrad. And I thought he was outstanding in the first matchup, April 7th over at Wilson. He took the loss, but if you can hold the Bulldogs to 4 runs, you did one heck of a job. I mean, they've put up double digits 6 times this year. In their last 3, they're averaging 10 runs. I mean, this lineup for Wilson and Coach Rakulia is absolutely loaded. But Matt Garris is the opposite of Luke Holman. Holman's a power pitcher. Garris is going to pitch backwards. And what I mean by that is you're going to see a lot of curveballs in fastball counts. He's going to throw a lot of off-speed pitches. You know, he's not going to give into this lineup and throw fastball after fastball after fastball. Garris will be more 82, 84. Holman, he'll be 90, 92 and could touch 94.
It'll definitely be an exciting matchup here as the first pitch comes in from Garris.
And he's starting him off with a curveball, so I'm not surprised.
Estrada rips that foul down the first baseline, and the crowd's already getting excited. They're into it.
Emily, I'll tell you, I've had coaches call me and say, Paul, how do you get Estrada out? I said, I have no idea. I mean, this kid was born to hit. He is just a pure hitter.
Pitch from Garris comes in for a strike.
Estrada's hitting .561 this season, and he's only struck out 3 times.
That's the stat that really impresses me.
Yeah.
That's some control. As Estrada hits that one up the middle, it'll be fielded by Cabret, and he'll send that back in as a leadoff single for the Wilson Bulldogs from Estrada.
His on-base percentage is .660, and just a clean single right up the middle by Danny Estrada. I think in some situations, your best bet, I've joked with coaches, I said just put him on because he is so hard he makes solid contact almost every time.
I mean, that's really what you're looking from the leadoff hitter. I mean, to get on base pretty much every time is really what you're asking. As Bunn goes in for the bunt, it's misfielded by Garris, and I will check if they record that an error. I would think so, as it goes up as an error, and Bunn is able to reach first, and that'll slide Estrada over to second. Yeah,
they're pretty generous at the high school level, but that clearly was an error. And that's Wilson playing a little small ball there with Gabe Bunn, who's a slick fielding shortstop who is headed to Misericordia. Here's an interesting note, Emily. Gabe Bunn is going to room with Connor Marinac.
Oh, my
so
gosh.
The shortstops from the arch rival high schools will be college roommates.
See how that transitions into a friendship as they become teammates soon. Garris's pitch comes right down the middle, a strike to Ruben Livingston.
Yeah, another first pitch curveball from Garris. This is what he did the first time around. You have to be very careful with Livingston. If you miss your spot, this is going to be 400 feet somewhere. This kid is built like a tight end. In fact, if Wilson's football coach Doug Doms is tuned in, if he needs a tight end or defensive end, Ruben Livingston's about 6'4", 220 pounds, and he's a junior.
Here's the pitch by Garris. Grazes the low end of the strike zone, and now the count is 0-2 to Livingston.
Yeah, back-to-back curveballs to Ruben. I saw him hit a ball at Muhlenberg. I don't know if it's landed yet.
Oh, my gosh.
On Friday, the left fielder did not even move. I mean, it was just an absolute bomb.
Garris looking back at Estrada on second. He'll step off the mound, try to regroup. As 2 runners on, no one out in the top of the first as we get started on this Wilson-Mifflin game here at First Energy Stadium. Livingston settling back in that right-handed batter's box. He's all the way up, almost against the plate. And he'll call time as home plate umpire waves off the pitch.
Yeah, called it a little bit late. Garris actually still threw the pitch there, but Livingston's actually already committed to Kent State, which is where Wilson's pitching coach Bill Underwood played his college baseball.
Fans are starting to get into this as the 0-2 pitch comes in from Garris, fouled off by Livingston into the crowds. And a lucky souvenir for our fan today.
And once again, Livingston still hasn't seen a fastball, and I don't blame Garris for doing this. I mean, this is a kid, if you make a mistake, it could leave the yard. He hit another bomb, too, over at Exeter. He's got 4 home runs. They've only played 13 games.
Garris looking back at Estrada on second. Here's the pitch. It's high for a ball. The count now 1-2.
And there he did give him a fastball, but that was really to change his eye level there. You know, he had thrown him all curveballs, so there he threw that up in the zone, which is, you know, where he meant to put that. That was not supposed to be in the strike zone.
Estrada taking a slight lead off second. Bunn off first. And Jansen playing deep over there at first base, as is Minnick at second. Here's the pitch by Garris. And it looks like it hit him on the knee, as Livingston will now jog down to first base. And quickly, the bases are loaded with Bulldogs, and there's no outs here in the top of the first.
Well, as big as Ruben Livingston is, it probably felt like a gnat or a fly or something, because it was not a fastball. And, you know, rough start here for Garris with the leadoff single. Then he commits an error on a sac bunt, and now he hits Livingston.
Jansen over at first base will move in a little bit on that infield grass edge as Garris fires to Holman. Swing and a miss there by Holman.
Yeah, another curveball. Everybody knows what a good pitcher Luke is. He's also a phenomenal hitter. He's hitting .439. He leads them in doubles. He leads them in triples. He has 4 of those. So he's dangerous at the plate.
Here's the pitch swung on by Holman. He fumbles himself in the box. 6-4-3 double play, and that'll get Garris 2 outs here.
Well, that is gigantic for Matt Garris. I mean, bases loaded with Luke Holman up. I mean, you could really be in big trouble in the top of the first inning, but he got him to roll over on that, and they turned it really well. Marinac to Minnick, what a combination that is at short and second. And just like that, you know, you only give up the 1 run.
Trade 1 run for 2 outs here as Gabe Bunn moves over to third. Here's the pitch to Randy Carlo, and it comes in for a strike. Definitely, arguably one of the better outcomes of that for Garris.
Yeah, I mean, that's almost like hitting Powerball. I mean, we're considering that what could have happened in that spot and who was up in that situation.
Garris throws a ball to Randy Carlo. 1-1 the count here with Gabe Bunn over at third. And Wilson now leading 1-0 over the Mustangs. Garris looking over, throws it in for a strike, 68 mph.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of slower, and slowest, but Wilson has hitters like Livingston and Holman and Carlo. They hunt fastballs, and with the power they have, this is the way I think you have to approach them, and this is why Coach Holt decided on Garris to start this game. He was considering Minnick, too.
1-2, Carlo fouls that off up into the netting of the Arphils Plaza. If you've ever been here, that is quite the catch for all the foul balls. We've always got a couple hanging up there. We got to get our ops guy to go shake them down.
They don't make you do that?
I'm not quite tall enough. Not quite tall enough. And here's the 1-2 from Garris, outside for a ball. Count evens to 2-2.
It's been an interesting season for Randy Carlo. He's committed to Bryant, which is a D1 school in Rhode Island. He was all division as a sophomore, and I could have made a good case for him to be all county as a 10th grader. But this year, he's only hitting .209. If he gets going, this lineup's going to be even tougher.
Chop up the third base side, fielded by Velez. Fires over to first, and Jansen just couldn't get a glove on it. The throw was kind of in the dirt. I mean, it was a long throw for Velez. He was all the way past third base as he fielded that. And Jansen just couldn't get a glove on that. So Randy Carlo will be safe at first. And it looks like they will we'll record that as an error.
Yeah, they did. That's going to be on Jansen. It was a long throw by Velez, but it got there. It was a little bit low, but it was in the glove of Jansen. And, that gives Wilson another run. The inning would have been over there.
So 2 runs now on only 1 hit from Wilson, as 2 errors now for the Mustangs and 1 hit by a pitch. As that one comes in and almost grazes A.J. Trayer in the knees.
And it was called a strike. I think A.J. was a little bit confused about that.
Looking down now at the third base coach, getting the signs as he steps back into that righty's batter's box. Garris checking out. Randy Carlo over at first. Now he's setting up on the first base side of the rubber. Here he deals, and a foul ball off the bat of A.J. Trayer.
Trayer had 2 triples on Saturday against Exeter. That was their senior night. They got to play over at Al's Field. So another beautiful facility in Berks County, and they've started hosting more high school games as well. But Trayer, in a lot of lineups, he's going to hit a lot higher than 6th.
Garris will fire over to first to check on Carlo at first, but he's not taking too big of a lead. 2 outs here, and 2 runs have already scored for Wilson, so obviously he'll be running on any kind of contact as Garris once again fires back to first, but really Carlo only had a 1-2 step lead there.
Yeah, I think with 2 outs, you just focus on the batter here.
Getting out, yeah. I'd have to agree with you there. Garris once again checking back at Carlo. And he fires the 1-2, swung on by Trayer, deep into left center field. It'll be Cabret calling everyone off and making the catch in center field for the final out of the inning. And that'll be 2 runs on 1 hit and 2 Mustang errors here in the top of the first to score 2-0 as we head into the bottom half. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be right back here at First Energy Stadium.
Get out of your seat and show us your dance moves. Thanks to CJ's Tire and Automotive and Achilles Tires for Tights, Kane. Leading off for the Governor Mifflin Mustangs, his second baseman, number 2, Tyler Minnick.
Wilson up 2-0 to start the bottom of the first inning. Luke Coleman misses low with a fastball, 93 on the radar gun here at First Energy Stadium. Tyler Minnick leading off, playing second base for the Mustangs. Second pitch from Holman, also a fastball. This one misses inside. So 2-0 to Minnick. You're going to be hearing a lot about this kid over the next few years, just a 10th grader. Really, really bright future. Hacks at the third pitch and fouls it back to the screen. Minnick hitting .450, 4 doubles, 3 triples. Leads the team in both those categories. As the 2-1 pitch misses up, and Holman falls behind 3-1 to the Mustangs' leadoff batter. 3-1 to Minnick is fouled straight back. Tyler already getting some Division I interest. He can run a little bit too. He's got 8 steals. Governor Mifflin as a team has 19. 3-2 pitches fouled hard down the right field line. So good battle here by Tyler Minnick. Obviously for Governor Mifflin, they'd love to work deep counts and try and get that pitch count up for Luke Coleman. Here's the 3-2 again, and it's right down the middle. A fastball that Minnick took for strike 3. So Luke Coleman starts off the game with a backwards K. The 6'4 righty, the numbers seem straight out of a video game. My era, that would be Baseball Stars or Bases Loaded. Emily's generation definitely playing different video games than me.
That's exactly why we're streaming this on Twitch. We know where the people are at.
Holman's first pitch to Kobe Cabret is in there for a strike. Cabret, the center fielder, bats second. But Holman's number's 4-0 with a 0.00 ERA. He has not given up a run all season. The 1-1, he takes something off there, and Cabret was way out in front.
That's pretty impressive, I would say. A 0.00 ERA. I mean,
tough to beat.
Can't beat that.
That fastball upstairs again at 93 from Holman. In 26 innings, Emily, he has 51 strikeouts. Now, I was not a math major at Syracuse, but that's about 2 per inning. And he gets another strikeout here. Breaking ball that was in the dirt, picked up by Kyle Cincinnati, so he'll have to throw down to first. And he does that easily to Livingston. 2 up, 2 down for Luke Holman, both on strikeouts.
Yeah, what were you saying again about those strikeout numbers?
51 in 26 innings.
I think he's set to add to that tonight.
Yeah, 53 right now. The other thing, Emily, he is a broadcaster's dream because he works so quickly as he throws a fastball here to Connor Marinac for strike 1.
You could just really tell he's in his groove.
Yeah,
he's got his rhythm down. He's sticking to it. Each pitch about the same, space in between. And that's really what keeps you on your rhythm. And what throws batters off sometimes is that he's ready to roll. As soon as they step in the box, he's ready to deal again as the count now 2-1.
Yeah, he's been groomed to be a pro player. I mean, his dad, Craig, was drafted by the Phillies in 1991, 22nd round pick, and played in their system. That ball is crushed to center by Marinac and almost went out. It hit off the wall in dead center. They're going to wave him around.
Marinac coming around. He's sliding into home. Here's the throw by Holman. It's not in time. And an inside the park home run by Connor Marinac. I mean, unbelievable as the Governor Mifflin team and crowd is going absolutely wild here at First Energy Stadium.
Well, Connor Marinac is going to be an all-county player. He's going to Misericordia. He's hitting over 350, and you saw why. That was a bomb to center field. I'll take the blame for jinxing Holman there. He hadn't given up a run all year, and here in the first inning. But when it comes in hard, it can go out hard, and Marinac squared that one up. And Chris Hull, the head coach, coaches down at third. And I know he's told me, as we see strike 1 now to Austin Hay for the DH, he'll gamble a little bit with base runners against Holman because you're not going to have a lot of opportunities.
Gotta take the chance.
Right. So in some cases, he probably would have held him at third. Not here.
The count now 2-2 to Hafer as he fouls another one back. Another point I would like to make that I feel like might be different about playing in this ballpark versus the ballparks that high schoolers are probably used to is how the ball bounces off the wall out there in the outfield. I just feel like Estrada out there, he wasn't ready for that bounce. It bounced right back over his head, and then there was no one in center field to recover it, and they were chasing it down, and that's really what allowed Marinac to score.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he didn't play that one real well off the center field wall. You know, sometimes if you know it's going to hit the wall, you'll take a couple step backs and play the carom cleanly there. He really wasn't able to do that. And Connor Marinac can really, really run, as Holman does end the inning with another strikeout. He punched out Austin Hafer, so he gets 3 strikeouts in the first inning to give him 54 already this season in just 27 innings, which is unbelievable. But Connor Marinac, it's kind of become a rarity, and I think it's a shame, but he's a 3-sport athlete, and nowadays there's just so much specialization.
Too much pressure on kids to just stick with one thing.
Yeah, and unfortunately I think some people are delusional about, you know, where their young boy or girl will end up as far as athletics go, and they focus them on one sport as opposed to letting them enjoy multiple sports. Well, Connor Marinac is the quarterback on the football team. They went to the state semifinals this year. He also plays basketball and now baseball, which is a sport he's going to go to college to. So he's still going to play college sports, and he's played all 3.
He's very impressive, I mean.
Yeah, and he's a great kid. I mean, every time I see him, it's, hello, Mr. Roberts. How are you doing, Mr. Roberts? You can call me Paul. I don't mind, but very polite, well-mannered young man, and he just had a memory for the rest of his life. I mean, he's going to be telling his buddies, you know, about the day that he hit an inside-the-park homer against Luke Holman.
Oh, my gosh, how could you not? So as we head into the top of the second inning, the score is now 2-1 Wilson Bulldogs. Had Estrada and Bunn scoring in the top half of the first, and obviously that inside-the-parker by Marinac. And here we'll settle into the second inning with Ryan Kelly up at the plate. Garris fires just high over the writing on the jersey.
Kelly took Garris deep when these teams played earlier this season, a pitch that missed inside. And with a lot of lefty hitters, low and inside is that nitro zone, and if you miss there, you're going to be in trouble, and Kelly put it out.
And it looks like Chris Hull is now shading his outfielders over a little bit, slightly to the right. As another pitch comes in, 2 balls and 1 strike to Ryan Kelly.
Yeah, that was a fastball away. Kelly started for Wilson back in 2019. Of course, no season last year because of COVID-19, but they have 5 starters back from the 2019 team that won 20 games. They beat Hamburg here 4-3 for the county championship, and they beat Hempfield 11-2 for the district title. And that's one reason I was so high on them coming into the year, because all the experience that they have back.
A chopper off the bat of Kelly that rolls foul. And they count now 2-2.
That district title, by the way, in 2019 was only the second for Wilson. The other was in 1988. Guy by the name of Kerry Collins was on the mound for the Bulldogs, who threw a 2-hitter in that district final. And Wilson made it to the state final that year and lost in the championship game. Kerry was pretty good at football, too.
Kelly will pop that one up. It looks like Jansen is going to get under it at first. He's going back and stumbles a little bit, but makes the snag right on that outfield grass edge, and that will retire Kelly for the first out of this second inning.
Little bit of an adventure there at first for Jansen as he was backpedaling and backpedaling. You want to try and get behind that ball, but he did end up making the catch.
Yeah, the wind might have had a little bit of a handle on that. It's blowing out into right field. As Cincinnati, the catcher for Wilson, steps into the box. He'll take a ball right over the head of Renier.
Kyle is one of those 6 D1 commits. He's going to Maryland Eastern Shore. Terrific defensive catcher. for Wilson as he takes that strike. In fact, he calls most of the pitches for Wilson.
I like seeing younger high school kids get into that side of the game because it really tests your knowledge of the sport, and it makes you a better ball player, I think.
And when you have Luke Holman, if you put down fastball or curve, you're going to be in good shape pretty much regardless.
As Cincinnati gets a piece of that, dropping it into left field, but Pena will be there to make the catch, takes a couple steps in, and now 2 away for the Wilson Bulldogs.
Cincinnati's another good example of the depth in this lineup, and that pitchers like Garris, you never really get a chance to breathe. I mean, there's an 8-hole hitter who's going to Division I school and is hitting .360 this season. I mean, again, a lot of other high schools, Kyle Cincinnati, he had a couple doubles Monday against Twin Valley. He would be hitting more in the middle of the order.
Garris working quickly here as Graff steps up to the plate and fouls one back into the stands. And I would say this inning is going a little bit smoother for Matt Garris on the mound.
Yeah,
seems to have settled in quite nicely. Even
in the first inning, he only gave up the 1 hit. You know, he hurt himself a little bit with the defense. He didn't field Bunn's bunt. And then he hit Livingston when he was ahead in the count. So he got into some trouble there, but he got a double play from Holman. I mean, you know, it wasn't that they were hitting him in the first, even though they scored 2 runs.
Here's the 0-1 as Graff swings through it to make it 0-2 for Matt Garris.
Graff had a big game Monday, too, against Twin Valley. He knocked in a couple. I mean, he's the 9 hitter. He's got 11 RBIs in 12 games. You know, you think of the 9 hitter as almost like an automatic out. It's not the case with Wilson.
Like you said, Garris just really never getting a break here in this Wilson Bulldogs lineup. Now the Mustangs infield will take a couple steps back on that outfield grass edge as the 1-2 pitch from Garris comes into Graff, and he'll swing and a miss. And Garris will get his first strikeout of the night. 3 up, 3 down go the Wilson Bulldogs. 2-1 the score as we head into the bottom half of the inning. We'll be right back here at First Energy Stadium.
Wall of Fame game brought to you by BB&T. Hidden behind the stadium's iconic brick wall is one of the many famous players or other notable celebrities who have appeared at America's Classic Ballpark over the course of its 66-year history. We'll start removing those bricks one by one while giving you some clues about that famous person. Let's see if you can guess who's behind the Wall of Fame. His rehab start for the Reading Phillies in 2009 drew a then record crowd of 9,953 spectators. He was an 8-time All-Star who captured 3 Cy Young Awards in his 18-year Major League career. And he was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame on his first ballot in 2015. The man behind the Wall of Fame is none other than Pedro Martinez. Congratulations to all those fans that guessed correctly, and thanks again to BB&T for tonight's Field of History Wall
We
of
are
Fame
back
game.
here at First Energy Stadium where Luke Holman is waiting for no one. They still have the in-game entertainment blaring throughout the stadium. Holman is on the mound. He is ready to go. And he has struck out Xander Velez. We haven't even had time to talk about it.
Yeah.
He's just headed for it.
I told you, he's a broadcaster's dream. I mean, sometimes you watch big leaguers and you feel like it's a 1 pitch every 3 minutes. Luke Holman, it's about 1 pitch every 5 seconds. I mean, he just does not mess around.
As he's ready to go and firing here, making the count now 0-1. Carlo really coming in here, looking for the bunt signs as Woolwine swings through that, and a diving play by Estrada. And he comes up clean with the ball as 2 away quickly for Luke Holman.
Great catch there. All-out dive by Danny Estrada. He's, it's appropriate that he plays for the Bulldogs. That's kind of how he plays. He's a scrappy. His uniform will be dirty. He takes a million cuts in the cage. He's just a blue-collar, workman-like player. But what a diving catch just robbed Mason Woolwine.
Yeah, clearly paying off. He's able to save a base runner there for Holman. As now it's the face-off between Holman and Garris, as Garris fouls one back, making the count 1-1. 2-1 the score here, favoring the Bulldogs as we're in the bottom of the second inning. Holman already putting 2 away as he fires the 1-1 to Garris. It'll come in for a strike. Garris a little bit of surprise there. He leans back, steps out of the box.
Yeah, that's the curveball that I mentioned before the game, that he'll buckle your knees. It's just a different level.
And Garris will go down looking there as Holman records another 2 strikeouts to make it 5 on the day. A quick 3 up, 3 down. That couldn't have been more than 3 minutes.
Yeah, and I think especially after he gave up that home run, that probably agitated Luke a little bit, although he rarely shows his emotions out there. But, we've got 5 strikeouts and only 2 innings so far. He's just on another level. I mentioned his dad, Craig. He pitched here for the Reading Phillies 93, 94, 95, 96, parts of those seasons, and did spend some time in AAA. Back then it was Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Now, of course, Lehigh Valley, but made it to AAA in 96, 97, 98. Luke's mom, Erin, was also a phenomenal athlete at Wilson. She's in their Sports Hall of Fame. Her senior year, she was the Female Athlete of the Year at Wilson. She played, we talked about multi-sport athletes. She played 4. She played softball, field hockey, basketball, and tennis. And Luke's sister, Jordan, is down in Georgia right now at a Division III school called Covenant College. And she hit 479 this season. So, it's just a very, very athletic family. And I know Luke's dad, Craig, has put in a lot of work with him. When you watch his mechanics, Emily, he's a finished product. Sometimes scouts will see kids and they'll look at his frame and say, well, he's 6'4". He can probably put more weight on, but we have to tweak some things. Luke's free and easy out there. He's ready to go. Interested to see where he does end up getting drafted. He has committed to Alabama. Whether or not he ends up there, we're going to have to wait and see, because obviously the higher you go, the higher the signing bonus, and that could be a big difference as far as making a decision.
Yeah, that can be a tough decision for kids nowadays, especially with the kind of money that gets offered in the draft versus going to play at colleges. Is definitely a lure too. As Pena will take a cut on that and make it 1-1.
Yeah, and I think you can always go back to school. So, going the pro route right away, really good breaking ball there by Garris, and Estrada was out in front. And you can always go back to school. And now a lot of major league teams are offering you the money, the 4 years that it would cost to pay for your college.
The 1-2 from Estrada. Will swing on that, drive it right in the gap between Jansen and Minnick over at second. And his second well-hit ball of the day. You hear the way that comes off the bat, right away that's got some power to it.
He's a hit machine. He's this is one of those kids, I think, out of the cradle, he was hitting the ball. He came in at 561, and he's 2 for 2 with a couple singles.
Like we talked earlier, just that getting that leadoff guy on base really sets the inning up for success. That's twice now that he started off an inning solidly for Wilson. And what that does to the rest of the batters, it puts him in a really good spot.
You also have a 2-hole hitter here in Gabe Bunn who can handle the bat. So we saw in the first inning they had him bunt. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that again.
Garris really keeping an eye on Estrada. That's 3 or 4 times now he's thrown it over to first. And really Estrada's not taking much of a lead. I mean, he can't now. The ball's at first more than it's on the mound.
Yeah, Garris has really concerned himself with the base runners so far.
And you're right there, Paul, as Bunn goes for the bunt, but he'll pop it foul. Count 0-1. 2-1 the score here. Wilson Bulldogs on top as we are in the top of the 3rd inning. An exciting matchup here today between Governor Mifflin's Matt Garris and Wilson's Luke Holman. And crowds are out in droves tonight to see it here at the beautiful First Energy Stadium. The stadium lights have just come on, and the ballpark is getting ready for our Phil's baseball coming back next week. Opening night, Tuesday, May 4th. First series extends to Sunday, May 9th. Lots of exciting giveaways and promotions, and my favorite part, the weather is set to be beautiful. Can't wait.
Did I see you guys are giving away a blanket?
We are. Opening night and Wednesday night, so that's Tuesday, May 4th and 5th. We're giving away the 70th anniversary blanket of America's Classic Ballpark. As Estrada goes on that pitch, he slides into second, and a great throw from Renner behind the plate, but just not in time.
Yeah, now we know why Garris was paying so much attention to Estrada over there. Now, Renner's throw was a little bit high, but not bad at all. 9 times out of 10, when you steal a base, you steal it off the pitcher, not the catcher. And Estrada can run, and see if they let Bunn swing away now with 2 strikes. I think they are going to.
The crowd's getting into it here as they wanted that pitch to be a strike, but 1-2 now to Bunn as Estrada is taking a hefty lead off of second. Garris looking back, sets up. Here's the 1-2 cut on by Bunn. It'll be a chopper to second base. Minnick picks it up, tosses it over to Jansen, and 1 away as Estrada moves all the way over to third. 1 out now. Runner on third for the Bulldogs. 2-1 the score. Wilson leading Mifflin here in the top of the 3rd inning. And that will bring up Ruben Livingston to bat.
Another curveball there from Garris, and nowadays with analytics and launch angle and exit velo, there are a lot of hitters that don't care about striking out anymore, but there's a good example where just by putting it in play, Bunn got the runner to third.
Livingston sends that one right up to Marinac, who will fire it over to Jansen at first, but Estrada jogs home safely to make it 3-1 Wilson here with 2 away in the top of the 3rd.
And this gets back to my point. This is a perfect example. By Gabe Bunn not striking out and putting it in play, Estrada gets to third. If he's not at third, he doesn't score on that ground ball that Livingston just hit. So I don't buy into the strikeouts don't matter anymore. And that's a good example where you get him on, you get him over, you get him in by making contact.
It's really just smart baseball by the Wilson Bulldogs here. As 0-1 the count now to Luke Holman. And it'll be 1-1 as Garris fires a ball in there. But like you were saying, for Estrada to get that safe steal and then Bunn to send him over to third, it really set up Wilson for success, as every run matters, and especially close games like this.
Yeah, their first matchup was 4-2, and in the 7th inning, it got really hairy for Wilson. I mean, Ryan Spatz, a lefty, actually came in to close that one out.
Holman fouling that one up into the general admission stands in First Energy Stadium. Lots of fans. I see one of them's got a souvenir.
I've seen a lot of high school games here, Emily. This is one of the best crowds that I've ever seen here for a high school baseball game. I'm not really surprised because of the rivalry and who's pitching.
Holman sends that one deep to left field. Going back is Pena and Cabret at the wall. It's a home run for Luke Holman as he's rounding second and third and coming home. I mean, off the crack of the bat, it didn't sound like much, but as Pena and Cabret tracked that one back, there was nothing they could do about it. They just turned around and watched it leave the field.
I mentioned earlier, he doesn't just pitch. He is a very dangerous hitter. and he took that one out to left center field.
And he got back for that home run he gave up in the
Yes,
first.
that's right.
I mean, he took it right back.
Yeah, so he gets one back on his own. But Holman coming into tonight was hitting .439 with 8 extra base hits. So, some teams, the pitcher's almost an automatic out. That the exact opposite is true with Luke Holman. He put that one probably at 375.
Randy Carlo sends this one deep to right field, going back at the wall, and Garris gives up another bomb to Randy Carlo, sends that one right into the pool. And Wilson is just going wild here. Wild as Pena's rounding third and coming home here. Back-to-back home runs off the bat of Luke Holman and Randy Carlo as the Wilson Bulldogs now make this game 5-1. Here at First Energy Stadium in the top of the third.
That was out beyond the pool in right field, out in the deck there, and that was also a world-class bat flip by Randy Carlo. I mean, he threw that thing up really high. He could tell that it was gone.
Oh, that was a sure thing right off the bat. That one had all of it.
There, you don't get a break in this line. The potential from a power perspective in this lineup. It is and that was an opposite field.
That was impressive.
Ball that he probably hit 370.
Yeah, 330 and 350 the lines down at right field, and you're right, he definitely crushed that past the pool. I'd be surprised when they go pick that one up later where it landed. As AJ Trayer at the dish now. Here Garris fires the 1-1. Minnick backing up at second, calling everyone off, and he'll make the play right on that grass edge to retire Trayer for the third out here in the top of the third inning. But not before Garris gives up 2 solo shots to Luke Holman and Randy Carlo, and not to forget Estrada crossing the plate earlier in the inning. The score is now 5-1 Wilson Bulldogs. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be right back here at First Energy Stadium.
Tonight's entrance in the race, Ruth, named after Ruth Hartman. Judy, named after Senator Judy Schwenk. And Rodrigo, the crazy hot dog vendor's sidekick. They'll start at home plate and race around the bases. Whoever touches home plate first wins. Let's hear it. Everyone cheer for your favorite, Ruth, Judy, or Rodrigo. They're off. As they approach first base, Rodrigo has the lead. Judy takes the lead at second base. Rodrigo quickly claims it back as Ruth takes the lead around third. Who's it going to be tonight? Who's going to hit home plate? First, it's Ruth. Ruth is tonight's winner. As Ruth touches home safely, she wins tonight's ostrich race, brought to you by Unique Snacks.
We're back now here at First Energy Stadium as Wilson with a power inning in the top of the third. 2 solo shots, one by Luke Holman and one by Randy Carlo, makes the score 5-1 Bulldogs as we head into the bottom of the third inning. Leading things off for the Mustangs, Javi Pena, the left fielder, who made an incredible play earlier in the game, so he's got some defensive skills out in the field as the pitch from Holman comes in hot, but high in the zone for a ball.
Pena had a 3-run double Monday against Muhlenberg here at the stadium as Holman misses away with that fastball. That was an interesting game where, it's a 1-run game, and then Governor Mifflin erupted and scored 9 in the 7th inning as Pena fouls this one back. But he was a big part of that with that 3-run double against Muhlenberg, and they ended up scoring 14 in that game. Offense has been the issue this year for Mifflin. Their pitching's been fine. They only allowed 2 runs a game, but they've been scoring under 5 as Holman pours that fastball in for a strike. And, they lost 3 of their first 5, Emily, and scored 6 runs total in those 5 games. So the offense has been an issue at times for Mifflin.
And they still haven't even gotten through their lineup once yet. Full count here to Pena as he's sticking with it. And Holman trying to, once again, work as quick as possible. I mean, he's on the mound, he's set up, he's waiting for Pena to get back in the box. He said, let's go, buddy. But he'll put a runner on as Pena takes a free pass down to first. I imagine it's hard to regain control of all that energy he must have after hitting a home run, you know, to settle back in and get back into the rhythm of pitching after something like that.
Yeah, I think that's where his demeanor really helps him. Again, super humble kid, quiet kid. Played basketball this past season, too. He had not played in high school, came back out. Now, if I knew I could play with Stevie Mitchell, I would probably jump on board, too. And they ended up winning 20 games, and they won a county title.
Renier taking a strike on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball from Holman. He's getting up there into the 90s a couple times now as the 0-1 comes in. He'll be fouled off by Renier.
Yeah, the first inning he was already at 93. So, you know, I'm sure the juices are flowing not only to pitch here, but because, you know, you're playing your arch rival. I think by now he's used to the scouts. I don't really think that bothers him anymore. And now Mifflin is getting some bullpen activity. How about this? We've already seen 3 home runs. Connor Marinac for Mifflin and back-to-back jacks from Holman and Carlo in the top of this inning.
I mean, we knew before we started this was going to be an exciting night, as Renier will foul that one once again, staying alive here with the 0-2 count from Holman. Paul's breaking out the binoculars, folks. You don't have an imagery, but I'm going to give you one. He's trying to check out who's down there in that bullpen for Mifflin. Holman getting the signs from catcher Cincinnati. And Renier will just go down looking.
Yeah, that was a breaking ball.
There.
Yeah, I mean, the curveball is, it's not like you see at the high school level. So already 6 strikeouts now for Holman, and we're still in the third.
That'll bring us back to the top of Mifflin's order with Tyler Minnick.
Matt Sarbaugh is warming up. The name may sound familiar. His dad is the third base coach for the Cleveland Indians. Was in their minor league system for a long, long time, Mike, and now he's the third base coach there. And Matt has seen a little bit of time in relief, but that's who's getting loose down in the bullpen.
2-0 the count now to Minnick. A lot of baseball blood in Berks County.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
a lot of professional sports blood. I mean, as we saw Chad Henne up here in the playoffs for the Chiefs this past winter.
Yeah, and how about when he had to fill in for Pat Mahomes?
Oh
that
my
was
gosh,
great.
that was such a moment. That was quite a moment. And I mean, to come out the hero of that game as well, out of control. As Minnick swings through that one, and quickly the count turns in favor of Luke Holman as he took a 2-0 count to 2-2. And he is fighting here in this at-bat from Minnick. Pena on first after being walked. He'll take a slight lead, but Holman firing down the plate, and it's a full count to Minnick. And Holman just really zoning in on this at-bat, not worrying too much about Pena over at first, just really getting focused. And just as I say that, he turns around and fires it over to Livingston at first.
Minnick had a big game Monday against Muhlenberg, a double, triple, 3 RBIs. Again, just a 10th grader, but already some Division I schools are showing interest in Tyler Minnick. He's got good speed. His OPS is over 1,200 this year, hitting 450. You're going to hear a lot more about this young man the next couple seasons.
Here's a 3-2 count. He'll pop it foul once again. And staying alive here. Minnick fighting against Holman.
Yeah, it's a good battle here. Their first at-bat was 2 as well. Minnick ended up striking out in the first inning, but he had another deep count.
Here's the 3-2. It's high, and he'll walk the second batter of the inning as Minnick struts down to first. That'll send Pena to second. The first 2 walks here for Holman this evening.
Great at bat there by Tyler Minnick. I mean, really
everything.
battled. Yeah. And that last pitch was 91, just missed by Holman. So now you get Cabret up here with 2 on and only 1 out, and Marinac is on deck.
Holman looking back at Pena at second. Now he'll fire home in the dirt. A nice block there by Kyle Cincinnati to keep that in front of him and make sure none of the runners were able to slide over.
Yeah, Kyle's a great defensive catcher. I mentioned Bill Underwood, their pitching coach, lets him call most of the pitches.
5-1 the score here in favor of the Bulldogs. Here's the 1-0. Again, high to Cabret.
Bill Underwood, by the way, drafted by the Yankees in 92, played A-ball in Greensboro in 93 with Derek Jeter and Mariano Rivera.
Wow, that's that's quite the roster.
Now Cincinnati threw down to second there after the pitch, and it was a pretty close play there as Pena got back, but a nice throw by Cincinnati. Again, elite defensive skills at the high school level from a catcher.
That was right on the line there to Bunn, exactly where he was standing on that third base side of the bag, as the bases will be loaded with Mustangs as Luke Holman now walks 3 in the bottom of the third inning.
Yeah, this is surprising. And now Coach Underwood is going to come out and talk to Holman. Through 26 innings this season, he only had 7 walks. And now we've seen 3 in this inning. So this is really, really rare. But I was talking about Coach Underwood. He went in the 17th round in the 92 draft. Jeter was the first round pick that year. But nice to be able to tell your kids, yeah, I played with Derek Jeter and Mariano Rivera, 2 Hall of Famers there.
Can't get much better than that.
Yeah.
All right, let's recap what happened here. If you're just joining us at First Energy Stadium, the score is 5-1 Wilson Bulldogs. Wilson scoring 5 runs on 4 hits, 2 of them being home runs, back-to-back solo shots by Luke Holman and Randy Carlo. In the top half of the third inning, they also scored 2 in the top half of the first inning, so that'll make 5. And the Mustangs had a solo shot as well by Connor Marinac to make it 5-1 here in the bottom of the third. 1 away, and the pitch to Connor Marinac, who's up again with the bases full of Mustangs.
Yeah, this is the biggest spot in the game. Marinac, their best player, up with the bases juiced. And Carlo is really in at third base, even in where the cutout is.
It seems like they want to maybe preserve the run more than anything else.
That's dangerous with someone like Marinac.
This pitch comes in high from Holman. The count now 2-1 to Marinac. He'll get the signs from the third base coach, and he'll step right back into that righty batter's box. Holman on the side of the rubber, 2-1 here. Comes in for a strike, just grazes that corner. The 92-mile-an-hour fastball. And Marinac just caught looking at it.
Yeah, he didn't like that one. Borderline.
Here's the 2-2 from Holman, and just missed. Just a little bit higher in that same spot as he'll throw 77 changeup. And the full count now to Connor Marinac. Bases loaded here in the bottom of the third. 5-1 the score. Wilson, here's the pitch from Holman, and he'll get him on the outside corner there. Marinac thought he had first, but he'll be rung up by the home plate umpire, and back to the dugout he will go as there's 2 away now for Austin Hafer.
Wow. Surprising that Connor took that one there in that spot. I mean, he's such a great player. I mean, that matchup right there, I mean, as far as Berks County baseball, you're not going to get much better than that. But let's see if Austin Hafer, the DH, can help out his teammate here. Really a golden opportunity for Mifflin, and you don't get situations like this against Holman often.
Yeah, that Mifflin cannot miss out on this opportunity to score runs here with the bases loaded in the third. Holman pitches one in the dirt, and now 2 balls. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. 5-1 the score, Wilson Bulldogs. But the bases are loaded for Governor Mifflin here. And we'll see if Austin Hafer has anything to say about that. The 2-0 from Holman, low once again below the knees of Hafer. And 3-0 the count from Holman, as he's already had 3 walks in this inning.
Hafer's taken 1 and maybe 2 here.
Here's the 3-0, and he'll get that call from the home plate umpire to make it 3-1. Holman's given up 3 walks this inning, but no damage yet as there are 2 outs. Here's the 3-1, a swing and a miss. 92-mile-an-hour fastball from Luke Holman, as the count quickly turns from 3-0 to in his favor.
Yeah, Hafer had a good cut. I mean, you know you're going to get a fastball there, and he did. Just a little bit late.
Here's the full count pitch. Runners are going, and it's low, and this time he does not get the call from the home plate umpire, as Hafer will jog down to first, and Pena will cross the plate to score, as Mifflin scores 1 run here. And everybody that has reached base for the Mustangs so far this inning has been on a walk.
Yeah, this is it's shocking, frankly. Luke, it's normally his control is pinpoint, and I did see in that at bat against Hafer, he did stumble once and look down at the mound a little bit there. I'm not sure if that's part of the issue, but again, 7 walks in 26 innings. 4 walks in this inning for Luke Holman as Xander Velez steps in.
Swing and a miss at a high fastball. The count 0-1. I mean, there just is something different, too, about pitching in this minor league ballpark with all of these fans watching. It's probably an atmosphere that they haven't faced much in Berks County.
Luke is a sophomore through the district final down in York. And 6 innings, 12 strikeouts, 2 hits, and gave up 2 runs. I was a 10th grader in a district championship.
Wow. Right down the middle there. And the count now 1-2 to Velez. Bases loaded still here for the Mustangs with 2 away in the bottom of the 3rd. Holman already walked 1 in to make the score 5-2 Wilson. Here's the 1-2, a cut by Velez, but it'll just roll foul down the 3rd base side. And he will stay alive in this at-bat, looking to make something here in the bottom of the 3rd for Mifflin.
Yeah, it's so tough when you're behind in the count like this because you still have to get ready for the fastball, and then he can give you the hook, too. And
he'll catch him looking as Velez goes down. Mifflin getting 1 on 4 walks from Luke Holman, but Wilson will remain ahead 5-2 as we head into the 4th. We're going to take a short break. We'll stay with us. We'll be right back at First Energy Stadium.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for tonight's Golden Oaks Landscaping Small Food Race, featuring tiny grillable food items. Let's meet tonight's racers. Up first is corn on the cob, hot dog, the cheeseburger, grilled hot pepper, and the steak. They'll start out there on Center Avenue, and they're off. They're going to make 1 full lap around America's Classic Ballpark before entering the field down there in the right field corner as they make their final turn into the ballpark. Let's make some noise, folks, and see who it's going to be tonight. There's hot dog, get another round hot dog, cheeseburger, grilled pepper, corn, collard steak. It's anybody's races to come down the first base line. Can Cheeseburger hold him off? Late push by Corn on the Cob. It's Corn on the Cob by a Colonel. How about a round of applause for all of our small food racers? That's the Golden Oaks Landscaping Small Food Race.
Fans, we are back here at First Energy Stadium. Wilson scoring 5 runs on 4 hits, making no errors. Mifflin 2 runs on 1 hit with 2 errors. Both of those coming back in the top of the 1st. We've seen a really exciting game, haven't we, Paul?
Yeah, and it was a good opportunity there for Governor Mifflin. They get 1, but like I said, against a pitcher the caliber of Holman, you know, you have to think in the back of their minds, they're thinking, man, I mean, we had a chance
that was
there.
Quite the opportunity to
yeah,
miss.
It really was.
And Ryan Kelly will be in the box for the Wilson Bulldogs. And Garris coming back onto the mound to pitch for Mifflin. Count now 1-0. As Kelly swings through that, and it's 0-2 quickly. And if you stayed with us through that commercial break, you probably saw the small foods race happening on the first base side, one of the many awesome promotions done by the Fightin' Phils that you can have the opportunity to see live if you come out to their first homestand May 4th through 9th. Yes, it's a promo. Yes, you should visit our website, rphils.com/tickets, as Garris goes down swinging. Oh, excuse me, as Garris gets Kelly to go down swinging for the first out of the fourth.
Was that corn on the cob that finished first?
That was corn on the cob by a colonel, as they said down on the field, if you could hear our crowd mic. But just one of the many exciting promotions. And as we talked about, great giveaways coming up for the first homestand here with that blanket. Don't want to miss out, fans. Head to rphils.com for tickets.
Did you write corn on the cob by a colonel?
I did not write that. Right. That was not my joke.
I think I've heard that on Letterman's show, but or Jimmy Fallon, but I'm not sure.
I don't know where they come from. 2 strikes quickly here to Kyle Cincinnati as Garris is getting into that rhythm and starting to work fast. He's already got 1 strikeout here in the fourth. He's getting the sign from his catcher, Renier, and here's the 0-2. It's high. Renier able to pop up and snag that one.
Yeah, Garris' ERA coming in was 4.36, but he had a rough start Saturday against Carlisle. They lost that game 9-4, and it's one of those things, limited innings in high school, and same at, the pro level. You can have one bad start early in the year, and your ERA gets jacked
every
up.
False move just is exacerbated with the math. The 2-2 count now to Kyle Cincinnati. Garris with the pitch. It's high and over the mitt of Renier. And the count is now full to Kyle Cincinnati. 1 away here in the top of the fourth inning. Garris struck out Ryan Kelly. The score is 5-2. Wilson. As the full count pitch comes in from Garris. Swing and a miss. Some high heat from Garris. And that's 2 strikeouts here swinging in the top of the fourth.
Then you see the difference in velocity. His fastball 82, Holman up there 92, 93, but he climbed the ladder there and got Cincinnati to chase. So back-to-back strikeouts for Garris, who came in 25 strikeouts, 9 walks. So he's almost 3-1.
Pretty good ratio there. And now the number 9 hitter, Ryan Graff, stepping into the righty batter's box. He'll call time and adjust real quick. He struck out in the second, swinging. And it looks like we'll have a quick meeting on the mound about Garris is calling his catcher and his shortstop out. But quick meeting, just had to get on the same page here, and now they'll jog back to their positions. 2 away here in the top of the fourth inning. 5-2 the score, Wilson. And Garris looking to shut down the Bulldogs. 1, 2, 3. Here's the pitch to Graff. Swing and a miss. And the count now 0-1.
Todd Williams is the pitching coach for Governor Mifflin, and he's been in that role for 8 years with Chris Hull. This is Coach Hull's 9th season. 123 wins, only 84 losses.
Gaff pops that one up into right field, but Woolwine is there. Barely has to make a step. Puts his glove out and makes the catch. Another 1, 2, 3 inning for Garris. The score will remain 5-2 as we head into the bottom half of the inning. We're going to take a short break, but stick with us here at First Energy Stadium.
Check out our upcoming games and promotions thanks to EPAWA Weather Consulting.
Fans, if you're just joining us here at First Energy Stadium, we have a wild one going on between the Berks County Division I's Wilson and Governor Mifflin. 5-2 the score in favor of the Bulldogs, but we have seen 3 solo shots at the professional ballpark here tonight. We had one in the first by Connor Marinac, and then we had 2 back-to-back by Luke Holman and Randy Carlo. So the bats have been hot, but the pitching has been fire as well.
And Marinak's was an inside the Parker, which is about as exciting of a play as you get in baseball.
It was incredible. It was really incredible. As now Xander Velez steps in and takes a ball off of Luke Holman. But now he'll get one in there for a strike. Holman issued 4 walks last inning and walked one in, which was unusual, we said, for Holman. So we'll see if he gets back into his rhythm here, as the count now 2-1 to Velez.
Yeah, he's not missing by much. But again, falls behind. 3-1 count, and now steps off the back of the mound, maybe just to regroup a little bit here. And if you're the Mustangs, you want to continue to be patient, as he does get a strike there with a fastball at 89. It's funny, he took a little bit off that, and it's 89 at the high school level.
Here's the full count pitch, and Holman will get Woolwine to go down swinging. To correct myself from earlier, I said Velez, but that's actually number 20, Mason Woolwine, who goes down there. And that'll bring up pitcher Matt Garris.
9 strikeouts already for Holman. He had 13 last Friday at Muhlenberg, 6 innings, no hits. I saw him over at Exeter, 6 shutout innings, 14 strikeouts. So this is kind of the usual for him as far as the strikeouts go.
Here's the 0-1 from Holman, another swing and a miss by Garris. And the count quickly 0-2 as Holman gets ahead of his rival on the mound. Here's the 0-2, it's high. Garris will leave that one up in the zone.
Garris had one of his best offensive games Monday here. 2 doubles, 2 runs, and an RBI.
Here's the 1-2, once again high, evening the count 2-2. Beautiful night here at First Energy Stadium. A slight breeze, but warm. A beautiful day at the ballpark. Garris will chop that one up. It'll be fielded by Holman, and he'll pick it up and toss it right over to Livingston at first. Great fielding there by Holman. Just real agile. It would have come off the mound smoothly, quickly, and field that ball on the bounce.
Yeah, I mean, he's a natural athlete. I mentioned he hadn't played basketball really since his youth days, and then came out, and he was in the rotation for Wilson, which was the Berks County champ, and then lost to Reading in the district final. Reading, of course, went on to win the state championship. You guys, by the way, hosted them out here. That was
a
awesome.
Wonderful event at the ballpark.
Yeah.
That was just incredible, and the kids were really excited to be out here, and they deserve the recognition that they weren't able to get because of COVID.
Absolutely.
Here's the 0-1 pitch as Pena will swing through that. 0-2 quickly here from Luke Holman. 2 away in the bottom of the 4th inning. 5-2 the score in favor of the Bulldogs. Holman staring down. The pitch is in the dirt, though, making the count 1-2.
Again, high school rules, you can only throw 100 pitches. If you're 76 to 100, you need 3 days off. 51 to 75, you need 2 days off.
Pena chops that one up to left field, but Graff is there to make the catch. A nice play over the shoulder grab by Graff for the final out of the bottom of the 4th inning. 5-2 the score. Wilson as Mifflin gets nothing across here. We'll be right back at First Energy Stadium.
Brought to you by Sweet Ride Ice Cream. Get up out of your seat and try to catch a soft toss baseball.
All right, fans, we are back here at First Energy Stadium. Thank you so much for joining us near and far, all of our fans that are at the ballpark today. Got quite a number, I would say over 1,000.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of high school baseball games here, and I can't remember many. And there have been district championship games that have been here. I mean, this is one of the best as far as attendance goes, and of course a big night for Governor Mifflin with their youth nights. He had all the little kids, and they're hanging around. But it's just great to promote baseball in general. You mentioned all the local ties. You know, we were talking earlier about Ole and Hamburg. We're supposed to play here last night. They played tonight. But Nick Evangelista played for the Reading Phillies. He's Hamburg's coach. And Nate Reed pitched in this ballpark.
It's really such a small world.
Yeah, and Nate was an Ole grad and then was part of the Mariners system and the Red Sox system and then eventually the Giants system, and he was with the Flying Squirrels. Also pitched here when he was with Portland, the Sea Dogs. So, a lot of great history. That Ole program, they've won 3 state titles in the 80s. So, a lot of good baseball around.
Estrada at the plate for Wilson. 3rd time leading off this evening, and he's 2 for 2 with 2 singles, so we'll see what he can get here as the 1-2 count from Garris here in the top of the 5th inning. Here's the 1-1. Driving a heater up the first base line, but it's just foul.
Yeah, just a little bit out in front, but again, he was on it. He is headed to the University of New Orleans. Now, college is normally a fun time. I imagine.
It's got to be on a different level. Here's the 1-2 from Garris outside for a ball.
I, of course, was always in the library, Emily.
Oh, my gosh, me too.
Every Friday and Saturday. Danny hitting over 600 this year now.
I guess now would be a good time to mention the Berks County playoffs will be held at First Energy Stadium beginning on May 10th. So you have more exciting baseball to look forward to aside from all of the rest of the games this week. Thursday and Friday night, there will be some nice matchups between your local teams. Here's the full count pitch as Estrada will pop that one up into left center. Coming across is Woolwine, and he'll just nudge into center field as he makes the catch on the run to retire Estrada for the first time this evening.
Yeah, for a second I thought maybe he lost it in the lights, but good recovery there by Woolwine out in right field and able to track that one down. Yeah, different divisional alignment this year in the Berks League. They've gone back to the 4 divisions. So all the first place teams will get in. There'll be 2 wild cards based on power ranking, and then the remaining 2 are second place teams. So whoever wins the crossover out of the second place teams from Division 1 versus 2, Division 3 versus 4, they will get in, and that'll be your 8 teams.
A chopper off the bat, a bunt picked up by Marinac. He'll fire it over to first. 6-3, put that in your books, folks, for the second out of the 5th inning. 2 away quickly for Garris, who is looking for another quick inning as he went down. He got the Bulldogs to go down 1-2-3 in the 4th. But that'll bring up Ruben Livingston, who got hit by a pitch in the 1st.
And I think one reason that they've changed the formula a little bit is the goal is just to get that 8 best teams into the tournament. And then as that pitch misses in the dirt, and then they'll seed based on power ranking. In the past with some of the sports in Berks County, including basketball, if you won your division, you were guaranteed, a top 3 type of seed. That is not going to happen anymore. Really they want to seed it properly.
Yeah, and everyone just wants to see, head-to-head matchups, good teams playing good teams, and an exciting playoff run. And from the baseball we've seen so far this spring, it's sure to be.
The last championship game here, 2019, as Livingston fouls that one away, was a great game. Wilson beat Hamburg 4-3. For the Bulldogs, it was their 12th county championship. Mifflin's won 13. So between these two schools, you have 25 Berks County baseball titles.
A lot of experience for both the head coaches as Livingston drives that one to left field, but it's going to go up and it's going to come down right into the mitt of Pena as another 1-2-3 inning for Garris to retire Wilson. The score remains at 5-2 as we head into the bottom of the 5th inning. Stick with us here at First Energy Stadium.
First Energy Vision for tonight's seat race, brought to you by Fleetwood Bank. Let's meet tonight's contestants. We have the blue seats, the green seats, the yellow seats, and the red seats. All right, fans, cheer as loud as you can for your seat color, and we'll see who wins tonight's seat race. The blue seats with the early lead, the green seats picking up steam as they approach the finish line. Cheer for your seat color, who's going to win tonight? Let's look close at the finish, and the green seats win tonight's race. Congratulations, green seats. You've won tonight's seat race, brought to you by Fleetwood Bank.
Fans, thanks so much for joining us here at First Energy Stadium for the first live streamed broadcasted game of 2021. I'm Emily Messina, and I have with me Paul Roberts. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Oh, it's been great. Here's, by the way, the catching change that I thought we might see. Coach Hull mentioned earlier in the week is sophomore Darian Troche, and again, his brother was a phenomenal player for Mifflin, but he is now going to step in for Aaron Renninger at catcher to lead off the 5th. Yeah, this has been a blast.
Nothing like baseball at First Energy Stadium. As Troche strikes out, swinging, and he goes all the way down. Kind of landed funny there, swinging through that all the way. But that'll bring us back to the top of the Mifflin order with Tyler Minnick.
Yeah, Holman can get you a little bit off balance from time to time. Minnick's had 2 excellent at-bats against Holman. He struck out in the first, but then drew a walk in the 3rd.
As that one comes in high and tight, a little chin music from Luke Holman. As Minnick is forced out of the box. 2-0 the count here. In the bottom of the 5th inning, Luke Holman still working quickly. A bullet off the back of Minnick. Going back is Graff. Will he be able to make the catch? No, it bounces all the way to the wall. He's fumbling with the ball. He's throwing it back in as Minnick is able to slide into 3rd for a triple here as the Mifflin crowd is going absolutely wild.
And he rocketed that. Again, keep in mind, that's a 10th grader facing a major Division I pitcher who's going to be drafted. That was a 2-hopper off the White Star travel sign out there in left center. Good people there at White Star. And Minnick runs all the way around to 3rd. Again, he's got 8 steals. He can fly, too. He's also a really good pitcher. In fact, Coach Holt considered starting him tonight, but he did have to use him Monday in relief. But Minnick's already thrown 84, 85 as a 10th grader.
That's pretty impressive. As now Cabret comes in. Minnick taking a nice lead off of 3rd. Luke Holman looking to get back into his rhythm here. 0-1 count now to Cabret. He winds and fires in the dirt. And a nice block by Kyle Cincinnati.
Here's another one of those spots, Emily, where it's so important to just put it in play and try and get this run in here with 1 out, as opposed to putting the pressure on Marinac with 2 outs.
Cabret swings through a high fastball, 92 miles per hour off of Luke Holman. And he'll go down swinging. As another strikeout for Holman. He's really just racking them up tonight. I think that's 11. Is that 11 on the night?
You got it.
My count
Yeah.
correct? So he started the game with 51, so 62 the count here
Excellent addition.
for Holman. And that'll bring up Connor Marinac, who had that inside the park homer in the first.
Wow, look at that curveball. Marinac, who's one of the best hitters in the county, just ducked.
I mean, it
because,
just sunk right
yeah,
down.
I mean, you think it's coming right at you.
Pretty impressive. The 0-1 slides in again for a strike, and quickly Marinac falls behind. Holman looking to get out of this inning cleanly after giving a triple up to Minnick, who stands on third. 5-2 the score here in favor of the Bulldogs. We are now in the bottom of the 5th inning here at First Energy Stadium. Here's the 1-2 from Holman. Marinac will pop that foul, and it looks like it'll go outside the field of play, so he will stay alive as he tries to get something going here for the Mifflin Mustangs with a runner on third and 2 away in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the 1-2 from Holman. Marinac pops that up. Going over is Kelly in right field. He'll make the catch on the run. And Holman will retire the Mustangs to keep the score 5-2 as we head into the 6th inning. Fans, don't forget that the R-Phils are coming back into town. These Reading players will land on Friday, and the season is set to begin Tuesday, May 4th for opening night. There will be a blanket giveaway that you definitely do not want to miss. We'll also be giving away some of those on Wednesday night. You can look forward to happy hours, pregame and postgame concerts, some theme nights with the Los Luchadores de Reading, and playing as the Reading Hot Dogs. And Mother's Day giveaway on Sunday. It'll be these awesome backpacks that you definitely do not want to miss. Come early, come ready, get your tickets, rphils.com. You can call the box office, 610-370-BALL. You can come to the ticket window, that's the Weidenhammer ticket office. Fans, I am telling you, Paul and I are sitting here, we are watching baseball at First Energy Stadium, and it feels great.
Yeah.
It feels great.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like summer. The temperatures today were in the mid-80s.
It does feel like summer.
You don't need the blanket tonight, but for the future, it's always good to have one. But you think of some of the players, and I've been fortunate to be able to interview a lot of these guys, Aaron Nola, and Zach Eflin, and Reese Hoskins, all up with the big league club, guys that came through here, Ryan Howard, Chase Utley, Jimmy Rollins, that foundation that led to the World Series in 2008 and then getting back in 2009 when they lost to the Yankees. I mean, that came through the farm system, and that's how good organizations are run. Certainly some organizations can spend a lot more than others, but the best ones can go down to the farm and bring up talent.
Luke Holman chops one over to short. It'll be an interesting throw by Marinac, and is it in time?
No,
I don't think it was.
Yeah, it was deep in the hole and short, and Marinac got to it. He, by the way, has not committed an error all season at shortstop.
That was impressive. That was on the run.
Yeah, and it goes back to, we were talking about Holman is not just a pitcher, he's an athlete. I mean, he beat that out easily. I mean, he can run.
That was impressive defensive play by Marinac over at short to catch that and fire it while on the run. Swing and a miss there by Randy Carlo.
Old Randy was trying to hit that one beyond the deck out in left field. I mean, he's a classic launch angle, type of hitter. He's had a tough year, just 209 coming in. But Monday against Twin Valley, he was 3 for 4, scored a couple runs, and then we saw him homer tonight. If he gets going, like I said, there's just not an easy out. And then you start to look at Livingston, Holman, Carlo, Kelly homered off Garris when they played the first time. These all have the potential to go. We're not talking about like little punch singles hitters here.
Yeah, they got power to them. I mean, it's not an easy feat to hit it out here at First Energy Stadium. These are pretty deep lines up in right, left, and center. As Carlo swings and misses there, the count now 0-2. Garris getting ahead. Holman able to make it over.
That pitch was up, and that's the pitch that if you have that uppercut launch angle swing, that's the one that's tough to connect with.
Garris looking down at his catcher, who is no longer Renier. It's now Darian Troche.
Troche, yep.
Troche, excuse me.
Yeah, he's only a 10th grader.
Holman getting the stare down from Garris on the mound.
Yeah, Matt has really tried to keep the runners tight tonight.
Randy Carlo up in the box. Here's the 0-2 count. Will be outside. And a nice save there by Troche, not letting the ball get away from him. Looks like there was a little activity in that Wilson bullpen over there. Be interesting to see what happens in the next half as we are in the top of the 6th inning. Wilson 5, Mifflin 2 here at First Energy Stadium. But we still got some baseball left with us, so please stick around. Exciting action yet to happen. Here's the 1-2 outside.
That was the lefty Ryan Spatz, who was warming up, who came up huge the first time around, as Todd Williams is going to visit the mound now with a 2-2 count here against Carlo. Wilson was cruising the first time around. It was 4-0 going to the 7th inning. And next thing you know, it's 4-2 bases loaded. And Spatz came in and was able to get out of that jam. He's 2 for 2 in save opportunities this season. He's only thrown 6 innings for Wilson, but he's got 12 strikeouts, and he's only allowed 4 hits. He's another senior. 12 seniors on the Wilson roster, 13 on the Governor Mifflin roster. This is an interesting visit to mid-count.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. I don't know what you guys can see here on our camera, but we've got a meeting at the mound, we've got a meeting at the plate, we've got a meeting at second base, we've got the bullpens in action, and we got the outfielders just chilling out there.
Next thing, Scott Hunsker is going to call you in the walkie-talkie and say, you have to be in a meeting.
Oh
By the way, I'm hearing really good things about his son, Tommy.
Oh, my gosh.
Some of the Wilson coaches at the lower level have told me he is going to be a player. So.
He had an absolutely great hit in the first game in that
Did
JV game. He knocked in 2 runs in a really important time for the Bulldogs. It was an impressive shot. As things will resettle down here at First Energy Stadium, Carlo up in the box. The count now 2-2 from Matt Garris, who will stay in the game. Holman on second. And it looks like Carlo will get a piece of that.
Yeah,
to stay
barely.
alive.
That one came in at 67. Garris again went with his curveball there to try and get Carlos. It'll stay 2-2.
Infield playing a little bit deeper for Randy Carlo. Garris looking back, he'll fire home just outside, and the count is now full. The fans are getting into it here. We hear a lot of boos from the crowd. But I think the umpires' calls have been pretty good tonight.
Yeah.
I think there's nothing to complain about so far.
No. You know, every game you're going to have a few. And heck, if you watch the major leagues.
You'll have more than a
yeah.
few. But it's all part of the game, as here's the 3-2, and it's high. And Garris will walk Carlo down to first, so 2 on, nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning for A.J. Trayer.
Yeah, he showed Carlo a lot of respect there, and I understand that. Again, Carlo's another one of the 6 Division I commits that's on this team. He's going to Bryant in Rhode Island. Cole Lehman, who's a junior pitcher who throws in the upper 80s, is committed to Lehigh. I don't know that we'll see him tonight. Might be Spatz if they go to the bullpen. And A.J. Trayer's going to South Carolina Sumter, which is a very good junior college baseball program.
Garris throwing back at Luke Holman, who's on second. And a nice pickup there by Marinac, not letting that ball get into the outfield and allowing the runners to advance. Some agility there as he runs back to second. Garris staring down A.J. Trayer now. Let's see if he gets the signs he wants from his catcher. Good to go here as the bunt from Trayer pops it up, and it's foul into the stands.
Yeah, Wilson trying to play a little small ball here, and you get a bunt down, you're second and third, one out. But Trayer's a good stick in this lineup, too. He's hitting .342, OPS over 900. Had a couple triples Saturday when they beat Exeter over at Al's Field.
They've got a lot of strategy going on in this game. We've seen it from the very first inning, second at bat when they were going for the bunt. Here's the pitch again, the bunt from Trayer. It'll be picked up by Velez. He'll fire it to third, and he'll be able to get the lead runner of Holman out.
Yeah, great defensive baseball by Mifflin. They had both corner infielders charge.
Yeah, they knew exactly what they were going
right,
to do on
and
that
then
play.
the shortstop has to come over and cover, and that's what they did. They had Velez charge, he fielded it, and they were able to get the out there at third base.
Now Ryan Kelly coming up to the dish as manager Chris Hull will push back his infielders onto that outfield grass edge as the lefty steps into the batter's box. One away here in the top of the sixth inning, 2 on, and the first pitch to Kelly is in the dirt.
Yeah, Chris Hull's done a really good job as the manager, and he is a Wilson grad. Graduated actually with me in '95.
The irony.
He became a very productive teacher and coach, and well, my productivity level is lacking, but hey, it's still a good class. They're trying to run a little circus play here, and they don't fool Carlo at
Just
second.
standing on the bag,
right?
Clapping and shaking his hands.
Yeah, it's. Garris spun and faked like he had thrown it away into center field, and then you see the infielders sprint out there, and you try and get the runner to leave second, thinking the ball's out in center. But Carlo, to his credit, stayed put.
Kelly fouls that one up the left field line and on to the umbrellas over at the 67 Club. Fans, if you haven't checked out our group areas, now's a great time to go do that. rphils.com/groups. You can also find it on the main page of our website. We got a lot of areas to accommodate all groups and sizes. A lot of them come with that free pass to the buffet, different angles of the ballpark, out in left field, out in right field, out at the pool. Another great opportunity for you and your family, friends, birthday party, your company. I could go on and on. Kelly swings through that one, and the count now 1-2.
Coach Hull led Mifflin to back-to-back county titles, 2015, 2016. They were the district runner-up in 16 in 4A, and then in 17, when the PIAA went to 6 classes, they were the district runner-up again. So this has been a great baseball program. 8 county titles since 2002.
Wow, as Kelly pops that one right back to Garris. He'll go to second, on to first, and it's in time. A double play as Garris makes moves here on the dribbler up by Ryan Kelly. They'll get 2 outs on the bat of Kelly, and no one will cross the base. A good inning for Garris, a solid inning for Mifflin as they don't let any more of the Wilson Bulldogs cross the plate. 5-2 as we head into the bottom half of the 6th. We're going to take a short break, but stick with us here at First Energy Stadium.
All right, fans, keep your eye on that half of the baseball. All right, fans, is that baseball under hat number 1, number 2, or number 3? Let's take a look. It was under hat number 2. Congratulations to everyone who guessed correctly, and thanks again to PSECU for tonight's Hat Shuffle game. Now pitching for the Bulldogs, number 7, Andrew Trayer.
Fans, welcome back to the game of the week here at First Energy Stadium. Wilson has scored 5 runs on 5 hits, making no errors. Mifflin, 2 runs on 3 hits with 2 errors. As we head into the bottom of the 6th inning here at First Energy Stadium. 5-2 the score. There will be a pitching change for Wilson as A.J. Trayer moves from second base to the mound. And it looks like number 12 for Wilson will be coming in. That's Cole Lehman for the Bulldogs. Am I correct on that, Paul?
You got it.
Holman had a heck of a day.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible. 11 strikeouts, I think he came up with in 5 innings pitched.
Yeah, the only issue was the control, which was a little unusual to see from Luke, including a bases-loaded walk that Hafer drew. He walked 4 in that 3rd inning.
It was really just that 1 inning
yeah.
he had some trouble getting out of. And I'd like to mention that it came after his home run, so I'm wondering if it was a little bit hard to calm down after such an exciting moment. But alas, A.J. Trayer on the mound here.
Yeah, he only gave up the 2 hits, the inside to Parker to Marinac, and then the triple to Minnick leading off the 5th. And those are both really good hitters.
Austin Hafer at the dish, as Trayer's first 2 pitches are strikes.
Good curveball there by Trayer. He went on Saturday against Exeter through 4 innings, only gave up 1 hit.
Here's the 0-2 from Trayer. It's in the dirt. It bounces before the plate. Interesting delivery there from Trayer. I noticed he really held his knee up for quite a bit.
Yeah,
what a pause.
He does hesitate just a little bit, but
trying to throw off the batter a little bit, throw off the rhythm of the game.
It's not Johnny Cueto, but now there it in.
Now a quick pitch, changing it up. So come in little low for a ball as Austin Hafer has worked his way back into this at-bat. 2-2 the count. As the righty in the back part of the batter's box. Here's the pitch by Trayer. A swing and a miss there as Hafer goes down swinging. First at bat, first strikeout for Austin Trayer. Off to a good start as that will bring up Xander Velez.
Trayer 4-1 this season, 2.55 ERA in 22 innings. He's given up just 13 hits, 20 strikeouts. And again, you're seeing him in the high 80s. I mean, they have literally a handful of pitchers that are mid-80s plus, which for a high school team to see that type of power pitching, it doesn't happen. Yeah, I mean, some schools will have one or two. Yeah.
To have a whole assortment of them just to go through it, it makes it tough.
That said
when
90 for
Trayer
there.
Luke Holman, and now you've got a solid bullpen here as Trayer fires to Xander Velez. The count now 1-2. (5-2) the score. The Wilson Bulldogs leading the Mifflin Mustangs. Another pause there from Trayer as he shoots that one close to Xander Velez.
Yeah, that was a breaking ball. It almost hit him, but broke at the last second.
We'll see if we get a quick pitch now from Trayer, and we do. A chopper off the bat of Velez. Coming over is Carlo. He'll range into the shortstop area and fire it over to Livingston at first for the second out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. A nice smooth play from Carlo over at third.
It really was, and he cut it off too, which is what you want your third baseman to do, because if it goes all the way back to shortstop, it's going to take an extra second. So if your third baseman can do that and cut it off, Carlo's got a strong arm. You saw that too. So that was a nice play.
I like the aggression. I like running down the ball and playing the game and not, waiting for it to come, as they say. And that'll bring up Mason Woolwine here as Mifflin tries to get something going with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the pitch by Trayer. It'll be a chopper off the inside. We'll look for the same play again as Carlo comes over to short, picks up the ball, and fires it again. I mean, that was like deja vu. That was back-to-back, the exact same play as Trayer comes in 3 up, 3 down, and we head into the 7th inning.
Yeah, excellent job there by A.J. Trayer. And this is his first relief appearance. He's made 5 starts this season, but he's never come out of the bullpen. But obviously, he is one of their best pitchers, and something that really hasn't been talked about a lot countywide that I think is a big story. Ruben Livingston, we were talking about power pitchers. Ruben Livingston is a guy with a plus 90s fastball. Again, he's about 6'3", 6'4", 220 pounds. He's a junior. He's only thrown 2 innings all year. They were hesitant at the beginning of the year because he wasn't feeling right. So then they brought him back and let him start a game against Fleetwood. But after that, again, he just wasn't feeling right. So obviously, these are young arms that we're talking about. You're going to take every precaution.
Right, that's why there's pitch counts.
Right.
That's why there's rest days.
Yes, but, they're 12-1. They're number 2 right now in the District 3 power rankings in 6A. And they have a kid who throws 90 who's thrown 2 innings all year. And that's
a lot to fall back on.
Yeah, that's why I said before the year that they have state championship potential.
Without a doubt. You could tell after watching this game, they've got a lot of talent.
Yeah, there aren't a whole lot of holes in this team. But think about, and the reason I bring up the injury to Livingston, when you get in the playoffs and you're seeing good teams every game, especially districts and states for sure, Holman's throwing the first game. Now, who throws the second game? Coming into the year, I think they were banking on Livingston as their number 2 pitcher. And now that's not going to be the case. So is it A.J. Trayer? Is it Ryan Kelly, who's a very experienced pitcher? He started games in 2019 when they won the county and district title. Cole Lehman, they've really used just out of the bullpen this season. He's got a live arm. He's struggled at times with his control, but not having Livingston, people haven't noticed it, I think, because Wilson's still so good.
As Garris comes back on the mound, and a shot to center field by Kyle Cincinnati, but Cabret is right there to make the play, and that'll be a line out. 8 in your scorebooks if you're following along.
Let's give a lot of credit to Garris, too.
He's really stuck with it.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Because that's the mental fortitude of the game of baseball is just so tough. There's a lot to it. And that's definitely a part of it. Sometimes even, more than half is being able to have that mental toughness as well as the physical ability.
Yeah, as you get to higher levels, too, for sure.
Definitely.
As he misses with the first pitch, comes back with a strike here to Graff in the 9-hole. A lot of people have physical skills, but between the ears can make the difference whether or not, especially if you want to be a pro player.
Hands down. That's the difference between great and elite, I would say.
Because when you get to the pro level, you're going to see guys here that are all throwing mid-90s. That's not going to be, but can they command it? Right. Will they get rattled? He gave up back-to-back homers.
And he's still in this game here in the 7th.
And Wilson's done next to nothing since that. In fact, they only have the infield hit by Luke Holman since he gave up those 2 home runs in the 3rd. So you have to tip your cap to Garris as he fall behind Graff here 3-1.
I definitely agree there, Paul. Just especially these kids are young. They've got a lot going on. They're still in school. They've had this entire pandemic to deal with. Are we talking about trials here?
Yeah.
And just being able to come out and even have this season and play as well as both of these teams have played is really impressive. as Graf gets walked down to first. He'll jog down, and Wilson will have a runner on here in the top of the 7th inning as we head back to the top of the order for Danny Estrada, who's 2 for 3 on the day.
And Garris is also a great example of you don't have to throw 100 to be effective. I mean, his fastball has, been like 82, 83, but he knows how to pitch. DeSales is going to get a good kid here. He pitches backwards a lot. You're not going to get a fastball in a fastball count, but he has command. That's what he was able to do so effectively against Wilson the first time around on April 7th. He struck out 13 in that game. They ended up losing 4-2, but I thought he did a good job.
The count now 2-0 to Estrada as Graf takes a nice lead off of first base, but Garris seems locked in at this point. He's working with Troche to find the good pitch here to send to Estrada. And that one is outside too, so Garris falling behind here with one away in the top of the 7th, just trying to get through the top of this Wilson order and retire the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I think this is just a lot of respect for Estrada here as he's trying to stay away from him. He did get a pitch there on the black on the outside corner to make it 3-1, but Estrada, he just seems to hit everything. I don't know that there's a good way to attack him. He's probably the best pure hitter in this lineup. They have other guys with more power.
As that's 2 straight walks from Garris, and that'll put 2 Bulldogs on the bases here in the top of the 7th inning, and it looks like there will be a pitching change as Garris's day seems to be done.
Not a bad outing at all for Matt Garris. Really hung in there after the 3rd inning when things got rocky. And remember, in the 1st inning, Wilson got 2, but only 1 of those was earned. So a nice round of applause from the Mifflin fans as Garris heads back to the dugout.
Top of the 7th inning here, Wilson 5, Mifflin 2. If you're just joining us, we've had an eventful day at the ballpark here as this game of the week matchup has been everything we have expected. Paul's got the binoculars out. Paul, who do you see on the mound for Mifflin?
When you get to my age, Emily, the vision starts to go.
Well, it helps, if they turn around and they flash us their numbers.
Yeah.
That would help.
This is Matt Sarbaugh, who I talked about before. Dad Mike is the 3rd base coach for the Cleveland Indians, and Matt is one of those 13 seniors on this Mifflin roster. No decisions this year. He's only thrown 4 innings, given up 3 hits. He struck out 5 and walked just 1. But a big spot here as he's going to be facing Gabe Bunn and then Livingston on deck. 1 out and 2 on. It's difficult Wilson lineup. Sal Rakuya, the head coach in his 10th year, 121 wins, 2 county titles, district title, played at Muhlenberg. His brother Phil was the Muhlenberg Legion coach from 2009 to 2019, and they both played for the legendary Dick Gockenauer, who the field is named for over at Muhlenberg. Sal was a former assistant on the Wilson basketball team, and now a decade as the head coach of this baseball team. And I've joked with him many times. I've known Sal and his family a long time. I said, you have the easiest job. I said, I could fill out your lineup card and just sit back for 2 hours and watch these kids. But it's tough.
Your top 9 guys are all top 10.
Yeah, but when you say that, you also have to take into account expectations now go through the roof.
For sure.
When you have fools like me on Twitter saying, you could win a state champion. Their only loss was to Hazelden. I was at that game April 3rd. Hazelden's coached by Russ Kanzler, who's a Hazelden native, but he spent a little bit of time in the big leagues. And Wilson lost that game 6-1. But Hazelden's loaded with D1 players as well. They had a lefty who's committed to Florida State pitch that game in Nick Biasi. And Luke Holman did not start that game against Hazelden. That's the only one they lost.
Gabe Bunn at the plate in the right-handed batter's box as Sarba is facing his first batter of the evening. Leans in for the sign from Troche. 1-0 the count. Looks back at Graff on second. Here's the pitch, and it's outside. A nice block there by Troche, not letting the ball get away from him, keeping those runners on their bags as Danny Estrada on first, Brian Graff on second. And those corner infielders are playing shallow again, so we'll look to see any strategy out of Wilson here as the pitch comes in to Bunn. Low for a ball, the count 2-1 now. 5-2 the score in favor of the Wilson Bulldogs here in the top of the 7th inning. One out here as Matt Sarbaugh comes and replaces Matt Garris, whose day was done 6 1/3 innings, as Bunn just kind of wildly swings through that pitch. Got some heat out of
Yeah, he was
Sarbaugh.
ahead in the count, and he decided he was going to take a shot there. Gabe's an interesting kid, always laughing and joking and smiling.
Sarbaugh looks back, and they'll send some high heat over to Gabe Bunn, who strikes out swinging. First batter face for Sarbaugh, first out for him, and 2 away now here in the top of the 7th inning. And that'll bring up Ruben Livingston, who's 0 for 2 on the day, but was hit by a pitch in the first inning.
Yeah, it did drive in a run back in the 3rd on a ground out to short. Livingston with 15 RBIs this season to lead the way. They have 7 players with double-digit RBIs. As that gets away from Troche, both runners move up. But it goes to the balance again in the line. I mean, you know, Graff, who hits in the 9 hole, has 11 RBIs this year. I'm wondering if you could walk Livingston here. His brother Isaiah, by the way, played at Governor Mifflin and was an all-division player. You could walk him here, but then you're getting Holman with the bases loaded.
Got
which,
that free bag over at first, so there is a little bit of leeway here for Sarbaugh if he wants to, you know, work his way through this at-bat. But there is 2 away now in the top of the 7th inning. Runners on 2nd and 3rd for Wilson as this goes over the head of Troche. They'll look to make a play, but they're unable to make it as Graff slides across the plate to score a run for the Wilson Bulldogs, making it 6-2 here in the 7th. That was just, you know, just over the head of Troche, who popped up for it, and he tried to make a way as it bounced off the backstop, but just wasn't enough time.
Great base running by Graff, because that came straight back to Troche, the catcher. Sarbaugh never got to the plate, though, so Troche didn't have anyone to throw it to. As soon as Sarbaugh overthrew that, he should have sprinted in to get to the plate.
Livingston pops that one up. Going back is Marinac over at short. He'll get onto that outfield grass edge and retire the Wilson Bulldogs, but not before they score another run. 6-2 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll take a short break, but stick with us for this bottom half as Governor Mifflin tries to come back here against the Wilson Bulldogs. fans, it is the bottom of the 7th inning here at First Energy Stadium, a power matchup between the Wilson Bulldogs and the Governor Mifflin Mustangs, as the Mustangs look for some hope here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 6-2 the score, and we're going to lead things off with number 16 of the Mustangs, Matt Sarbaugh, who came in to replace Garris on the mound in the top of the 7th. He'll take a first pitch strike from A.J. Trayer. Second one comes in the dirt for a ball. You know what I think is very interesting for these high school players is that a lot of them, you know, we've talked about before, especially with Trayer here, are position players who pitch, and that is something, you know, you don't see too often in the major leagues. You see, you know, it's kind of a big deal, position player pitching, but these guys, I mean, he's out in the field, all of a sudden switches gears on the mound, and he's been lights out.
Yeah, besides Shohei Ohtani and Babe Ruth, not many come to mind as Trayer gets another strikeout here. Sarbaugh goes down. Trayer now with 2 strikeouts, took over for Luke Coleman, who went 5 innings in this one. Yeah, but a lot of your best athletes in high school are pitching, and a lot of times they'll play short too.
I just find that transition really impressive to just switch those gears, as now Javi Pena comes up and takes the first pitch strike as A.J. Trayer following the footsteps of Luke Coleman here and working very quickly.
Yeah. What's the deal, by the way? The pitchers for Wilson have struggled to keep their caps on
Pena
tonight.
sends one into left center field. Estrada chasing it down. It goes out to the wall. He'll stop at second. A standing double for Javi Pena, and it's not over yet for Governor Mifflin as Pena sends a bullet into left center field.
Yeah, these kids don't quit. Again, it's a great program. I talked about the job that Chris Hull has done. They've won 13 county titles. The last came in 2016 when they beat Exeter 9-0. But this has been one of the best programs in the county, so they're just not going to lay down here. They showed that the first time they played Wilson when they made it interesting in the 7th. So, you know, it hurt giving that last one up with the wild pitch, because now you're in a spot where if you get another guy on, you bring the tying run to the plate. Here, a grand slam can only tie the game if you're Governor Mifflin.
And we've seen some balls leave the park
yeah.
today, so we know it's possible. We definitely know it's possible as Darian Troche heads to the dish.
Yeah, 2-0 count here. If you're Trayer, you do not want to walk him. You have to make him swing the bat.
You know what? Excuse me. I think that is Aaron Renier. I see a number 4 jersey out at the plate.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Deceiving me? I think that's what I see
No,
there.
you're
and
right.
He sends a bullet up the third baseline. Fair ball called by the umpire. Rounding third and coming home is Pena onto second and stopping at second after he trips himself up a little bit is Renier. And like you said, Mifflin is just not ready to be done. I mean, a bullet up the third baseline. Just a shot hit in the exact right spot. Fair ball over the bag. And Renier with a stand-up double here. And Mifflin scoring a run 6-3 now with only 1 away at the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, he ripped that down the third baseline. And, you know, that's 8-9 in the lineup, Pena and Renier. We talked a lot about Wilson's depth there, but Renier came through, and now we get a wild pitch, so he'll move up to third. By the way, I also love his base running. Did not pull an Aaron Judge and get thrown out at third, which is the absolute last thing you want to do. I mean, talk about a rally killer. But Renier kind of stumbled over second.
You did see him kind of catch himself, pull back.
And you have to understand, that run doesn't mean anything. It's 6-3. So you getting to a triple versus a double, that's not what matters.
And now he's over at third anyways.
Right, yeah.
So he did the right thing by staying patient here as we're back to the top of the order for the Mifflin Mustangs. Tyler Minnick takes a ball to count out 2-0. And things are getting exciting here, fans. The game is not over until it's over. 6-3 here in the bottom of the 7th inning as Mifflin is fighting. Minnick fouls that off his own shin. Just trying to walk it off real quick The count now 2-2.
He's got 4 doubles and 4 triples this season. So if you make a mistake to him, this could get even more interesting.
And let's not forget 3 home runs. Wind in favor of the hitters. Here's the pitch over the head, but a nice pop-up by Kyle Cincinnati. You do not want that ball getting past him.
Yeah, he's really good defensively. They had another good catcher, Demarius Rodriguez, he was playing behind a couple years ago.
Here's the pitch from Treyer. Looks like Minnick will pop it up, coming over the right fielder Kelly. Is he going to run out of room? No, he's going to make the catch. And Renier is going to tag up at third, so a run will score on that sac fly by Tyler Minnick. And a nice effort there by Kelly to run down to the right field line and make that snag. That's an important out there. If that ball had gotten down, I mean, who knows what it would have happened.
I mean, it's at least a double and maybe a triple with the way Minnick runs. Really nice play by Kelly because that ball kept drifting and drifting and drifting.
The wind is going out to right
the wind's blowing that way, and he ended up catching that right near the line.
And that ball hits Cabret, and he will jog down to first, and you hear the cheers of this Mifflin people who know it'd be so exciting when a player gets hit by a ball.
Well, and now Connor Marinak's coming up, and a home run ties the game.
He's the one you want up.
Absolutely.
I mean, without a doubt, he's the one you want. He had that inside the park home run, and with a runner on here, 6-4 the score. That Marinac is that tying run.
Yep. He was honorable mention all division as a sophomore in 2019. Again, hitting over 350 this year. He's got power too, and he can also really run.
Pitch over the head of Marinac. Fans are cheering here. The count 1-0 now. 6-4 in the bottom of the 7th here at First Energy Stadium. Baseball under the lights, a beautiful spring summer night.
Coach Rakulia out of the dugout trying to position his outfielders. It's never easy, these rivalry games. I'm sure he's thinking, here we go again.
Back and forth. Oh my gosh. Marinac steps back in. 2-0 the count here. Treyer looking over at his runner on first. Cabret taking a lead. Here's the pitch. And it's in for a strike. Nice on the top of the zone. Just grazes it. Treyer does. 2-1 the count now. 6-4 here in the bottom of the 7th with 2 outs. Treyer just looking to close the door. As Marinac takes another strike, this time on the outside corner. And like you said, Paul, I mean, what is it with the Wilson hats flying off the pitchers? I mean, I saw that with Holman. Now we're seeing it again with Treyer.
Too much hair, maybe. I don't know.
Too much hair.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. Here we go, down to the final strike. Governor Mifflin looking to stay alive here with Connor Marinac at the dish. Kobe Cabret over at first. 2 away in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Marinac, and Treyer gets him to go down with a hefty swing, and Wilson will finish this out with a win. Final score 6-4. Wilson 5 hits, Mifflin 4. Mifflin making 2 costly errors in the first, but overall a very exciting game between these 2 rivalry teams, both in Berks Division 1 and fighting for that playoff spot. Wilson pretty much nailing down that number 1 seed here in a trip to the playoffs for them, and Mifflin sure to make it too with those power rankings.
Yeah, Governor Mifflin was number 8 coming into tonight in the power rankings in 6A, and the top 12 qualify, so they're in pretty good shape. Now, they still have 5 league games left after tonight, but they're now 5-2 in league play, and Wilson improves to a perfect 9-0 in league play. The Bulldogs have 3 league games left. Conrad Weiser, Daniel Boone, and then Reading High. Those are all at home. The first time they played Reading, they scored 21 runs, which goes back to the power in this lineup. But, another really, really good game. Luke Holman ends up with 11 strikeouts. Struggled with his control in 1 inning, had 4 walks, but overall just gave up the 2 hits and the 2 runs. He goes 5, and then Treyer comes in and gave up a couple there in the bottom of the 7th. But I think
able to seal the deal.
Yeah, and it's credit to Mifflin that those kids just will not give up.
I'm pretty impressed with the baseball action here. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. We appreciate your support and all of the fans who joined us here at First Energy Stadium. Thank you much for watching this baseball game with us. The next time a live broadcast will be your Fightin' Phil's home opener on May 4th. I'll be on the air, Emily Messina. And thank you to local sports broadcaster Paul Roberts for joining me. I can't thank you enough, Paul. I had so much fun tonight.
Yeah, this was great. It's fun just to be back at the ballpark again. And we're fortunate in Berks County, whether it's football, basketball, baseball. We have so many great programs. And I know sometimes the start times are tricky for parents because some of the games start at 4:15. And if you're working 9 to 5, it's tough to get there. But I would encourage fans to go out and support your local high school baseball teams. I mean, we saw Luke Holman tonight. We saw all those Division I players for Wilson. We saw Marinac and Minnick for Governor Mifflin. Hamburg's got Hunter Shuey, who's going to UNC Greensboro if he doesn't get drafted, which I think he will. I talked about Garrett Blankenbiller from Ole Valley, who's committed to Millersville. Chase Renner at Brandywine Heights is committed to Penn State. I mean, there are a lot of really good baseball players. Alex Crick at Muhlenberg is going to play Division II baseball at Wilmington. Sean Levan at Muhlenberg, another really good player. Exeter has Ben McGovern going to Bucknell. Asa Wilson is a catcher going to Penn. So throughout this county, you're seeing some really high-level high school players. And if you get a chance to see this Wilson team, I know Coach Riccoy is one game at a time, and that's what he has to do. But you don't see a team with this much talent very often. Of course, no season last year because of COVID. 2019, they were in the state quarters, lost to CB South 2-1. Both those runs were unearned, and 5 starters are back from a state quarterfinal district championship team. So I think Wilson really just getting started, but thanks for inviting me here, and thanks to Scott Hunsiger and everybody with the organization. I've said it for over 20 years, but you guys take AA baseball to a different level, and I hope people don't take it for granted just because this organization's been around for so long. It's 70 years. You should not take it for granted. It's a great venue. And even if you're not a huge baseball fan, it's just a great atmosphere.
Definitely. Lots to do and see here at First Energy Stadium. 2 more high school games on the slate Thursday and Friday. We'll have those live streams up for you on our Facebook channel. And then we're back with the broadcast May 4th, opening day for the Fightin' Phils. That's a 7:05 start time. I'll be on the call. Your final score, Wilson 6, Governor Mifflin 4. Fans, thanks again for joining us. We're happy baseball's back.